Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk, guys. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. I've got my coffee. Grab yours. Let's check out this replay. We have Dr. Villain, Zemke, and Leaf Fan in Ottawa platooned in their Foch 155s. This is a meme platoon from hell right here, fellas. Good coffee. Let's check it out. Leaf Fan's got a pure, well, not pure, but pretty close heat loadout with a bunch of HE. So we've got what we got. Dr. Villain's got his 2 marked. Leaf's got his 1 marked. Zemke's trailing along in his, looks like he's got the Terminator skin on that thing. We are here on Himmel's Stepsdorf. We're going to go over to the west side of the map. And let's just talk about this for a second, guys. This is where we are, I think, with the game. I've been pretty negative lately, so we're just going to continue on that theme a little bit. I don't have any answers for wargaming, but this is where we are, all right? 3 155s. They're going to come around the corner. Now, the game is not covered up in platoons of 3 155s because this tank is broken, but it's not overpowered. It's got 3 shells, 750 alpha on each shell. Absolutely ridiculous. If it hits all 3, it can erase just about any tank in the game. But number 1, it has to hit them, which is not a given with the Foch 155 and its dispersion and gun handling. Number 2, it has to pen them, and while it's got a nice heat round with a lot of pen, let's check it out, relatively anyway, 395 for goodness sake. It's a heat shell, so there's a lot of problems with that, especially at this tier with all the spaced armor, thick armor, angled armor, everything else. But it's where we are, guys. I just want you to check out their team for just a second, all right? A Kron, a Rhinoceronte, Super Conqueror, a couple Leopards, Lion, TVPs. All right, so let's just count autoloaders on their team. Kron, Rhinoceronte, 1, 2. Autoloader, auto-reloader, whatever. 1, 2, okay, not for the next ones. Lion, 3. TVPs, 4, 5. Foches, 6, 7, 8. Autoloaders into artillery. And an EBR, which is its own problem. That is a whole nother series of videos. On the other side, they do not have very many autoloaders, but they do have an Object 279 early, which is throwing into the morass of issues. They have a couple autoloaders in the 50-51s. Then they have some real heavy hitters. The Crap Barn, which is dropping enough in one shot to delete a lot of tanks. Another problem in and of itself. The 110E3 to 110E4, a couple more 750 alpha schmackers, and an autoloading artillery right there. I don't know, fellas. Like I said, I don't have an answer for it. It's where the game has gone. It seems like everything is bigger, faster, better, more auto-loading, loading, reloading tanks. I just want you to watch what happens right here. On the one hand, it's really funny because of what it happens to. On the other hand, it's just a sad statement on the state of the game. Anyway, let's just watch what happens here. And I think you can probably figure it out when you've got 3 Foches getting ready to line up down one alley behind a bush. They're going to get an echelon right here. All right, the IS-7 takes a peek, and I'm going to tell you, he has no idea how lucky he was right there. They weren't quite ready, and he doesn't really poke out too far. But that is not the situation with the next poor fella that makes a move. And I'm going to... Oh, wait, hold on. He's made his appearance. Yep, ow. Okay. Oh, boy. You get to cover, my friend? No. Balanced. Now, on the one hand, like I said, you might be cheering and saying, well, what's the problem, Guido? A 279 early just got balanced. Who cares? Good point. On the other, a 279 early just got annihilated within a minute and 15 seconds of playing the game while playing a heavy, trying to get to the heavy brawl. Now, granted, he made a dumb move trying to move across that. It is known at this point with the meta that you don't cross right there for this very reason, especially at tier 10, especially with all the auto-loading, reloading, loading reloaders that are out there, plus the artillery. I mean, the list goes on. But when we say things like that, when I say things like that, I always like to think back. Just peel that onion back a couple more layers, couple more layers, and ask yourself, why are we at this point? What is this good gameplay? Well, it's good gameplay from the 3 guys in the platoon, but is it good gameplay as in it's fun to play this? Was that fun for the 279 early? Yes, he made a mistake. He could have sat back there. But you've seen this happen many times. You don't even have to really make a bad mistake like he made for this kind of thing to happen at nearly all tiers with all the auto reloaders and the accuracy. Now we've got Japanese guns with cooling. You know, just to go off on a small tangent with the whole cooling thing here, we'll just let this continue to go. Why does that make the gun more accurate? He just went right through a turret, or maybe he got a little low onto the turret ring, but I don't know how he did that, but he just penned an IS-7 for 892. I guess he could have got into the side armor. Why does the Japanese gun have really bad accuracy to begin with? Like, it's a more modern design. What makes that gun so inaccurate? And then why is it that some water makes it more accurate? And look, realism in World of Tanks is not really, it's not a simulation per se. It's not necessarily realistic. We have a lot of crazy stuff. But again, peel the onion back and go, well, why is that? Why do we have EBRs that turn up their own arseholes? How come the British mediums don't turn up their own arsehole? Why are they so sluggish and hard to maneuver, and the French ones will turn up their own ass and come out the other end? I don't know. It's a game, Guido. Yes, that's true. That's true. But the point of the many points I'm trying to make right here is we've got ourselves into a situation, or the designers of the game have got themselves into a situation where this bigger, better idea in gaming, innovate or die, the next big thing, bring out the new tank, bring out the new mechanic. It's a self-licking ice cream cone at this point. It's so completely beyond. What's the word I'm looking for? It's become a meme, right? It's become a thing they chase. It's become a thing developers chase for the sake of chasing it, right? The old self-licking ice cream cones I just said. It's not something that's good for games or for the gamer. It's just something that everyone believes that's the thing you do, so they do it. And it's an old game. We've been around for a while. I don't know how you avoid this kind of thing necessarily, to be honest. Games get older, they get layers of gameplay and things added onto them. The company is attempting to keep players, bring in new players, give players what they want. There's something that says players want faster, clickier stuff. That is kind of an industry standard thing right now. I don't happen to actually believe that exactly. I think if the gameplay is good enough, the speed of it doesn't really matter. But I could be a total minority. I will tell you that the game that I fell in love with 11 years ago, this ain't it. This is not it. There's almost nothing left of that game, to be honest. Where most guns were cyclical, single shot, where you could take a risk, you still got punished for it, but you didn't necessarily get deleted. Yeah, there were KV2s and there were situations where that could happen, or maybe 3 guys hitting you, blow up, noted. But it wasn't as easy, I would say, to get either wrecked or deleted off the map with a single mistake. You find some of that still at the lower levels, just because there tends to be not as experienced players down there. The guns aren't as accurate. There aren't as many auto loader reloaders. I'm talking like tiers 5 and 6, fellas, because at tier 8 the power creep at tier 8 is every bit as bad as it is at tier 10. Plus it sees tier 10s, which is its own issue at that point. So the game that I started playing and really liked is almost completely gone. And your tastes, the game itself, the way you play it, that all changes, and that's what I've done to some extent, but it has occurred to me, I think, within the last year, especially within the last 2, but definitely within the last year or so, that this game is completely different than the game that I liked. And hunting pixels with more and more accurate guns in a hold down meta, positioning auto loader reloaders in places to absolutely gank tanks if they make even one single incorrect poke or move, playing only the meta tanks in order to have any kind of chance to win, watching romples like this just constantly happen one way or the other. Man, it's getting old, fellas. I'm going to tell you that for nothing. It's getting really old. It's always the same, and it's almost a case of they're attempting to change it so much that it becomes more and more the same. So I don't know if we're accelerating down the same route that they've been trying to go down, or if they're trying to change the route but they're unable to because the inertia is so bad. But I don't think there's a fix. As I said, I don't have one. I mean, you would have to roll back a bunch of stuff and undo things, and that's never going to happen. That's unrealistic. That's a pipe dream. But that kind of gameplay that was in existence, even maybe 5 or 6 years ago, to be honest, and certainly beyond that. And I'm not saying the graphics were better back then. I'm not even necessarily saying all of the way the game performed was even better back then. It's always... Grass is always greener on the other side, and you got the rose-colored glasses with 20/20 vision. I'm just talking the basic meta gameplay idea of it was definitely better back then. And it's very possible that more people than not like it this way. And maybe this does attract the younger crowd and the people who want more of an FPS kind of experience with World of Tanks. But the constant increase in speed, accuracy, deleting things is definitely not on my list of things that I like about the game. Let's put it that way. It's at the bottom with a bullet going down into the Marianas Trench, but through the crust of the earth and into the core. That's how little I think of the direction of the meta in this game. I mean, this was a great example. It was fun to watch. And when I play like this, on occasion I get a laugh, but when I stop to think about it for a minute, I'm like, that was just a miserable experience for everybody. Especially the 279 early. He just gets absolutely destroyed. The poor 110, the M454, and the IS7, all cyclical guns, attempting to take these guys on with their backup that they had, plus the arty shots. It was just a face stomping, man. There was literally nothing they could do. Minus maybe not poke as much and continue to fall back and hide behind things. And oops, that's where we are, isn't it? Hide behind things, hold down, don't let the auto reloaders get a hold of you. Camp a llama ding dang. Pixel snipe. Peek over a hill with your minus 25 degrees of depression with your hydro pneumatics. Wait till your gun cools to 0.1 accuracy and pixel snipe some guy's hatch from 300 meters. Even if it's 50 meters in some of the close brawl zones, the whole idea of the peek over and then and sticking your gun up to block stuff, and oh my god, just honestly, stop. Now, why do people do that? Because it works, right? Gamers figure that out. They figure out what works. They're smart. The good players figure it out. They block shots with their barrel and all that stuff. Hey, I'm not saying like it's not rational, or that it's not the way that better players than me win the game. Yeah, there you go, 100%, absolutely. But man, it is miserable gaming. You may say, well, Guido, if you're so miserable, then move on. What? Quit crying. Well, I make videos, so we talk about it. Obviously, I'm not going to just quit and move on. I do still like the game. I just like it a lot less. I think that's just an honest opinion. And it's worth saying, I think. I think there's some of you out there who believe that as well. There's maybe some people who do not, who think it's actually better than it's ever been. So that could be for them. It is not for me. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that for nothing. And it has caused me really to draw back quite a bit. The only thing that maybe, well, there's a couple things that were keeping me here. Number one is, I've got a huge account. I've been playing for a long time. I'm good at the game, relatively. Not amazing, but good. Getting worse, as we can see. So that's one thing. It was a CC for a long time. That's kind of gone now, so I'm not doing that. the channel cruises along. It's mostly a World of Tanks channel. I'll continue to do content for it, but honestly, the more I see this kind of thing, the more I'm involved in it. These days, we'll just let this continue to go because I've been babbling for a long time here. These days, when I have a couple games like this, like I'm the 279 early, or I'm on this other team getting absolutely face stomped with zero chance against multiple auto loader, reloaders, and players that are good and know what they're doing, and they're just absolutely crushing me. A couple of those in the past, I would kind of press on, let it roll off. These days, I just find the X at the top right of the game, press that X, and move on. Go play something else, go outside, walk the dog, whatever, honestly. And that's not something I used to do. It is not something I used to do very often, and I do that a lot more now. A lot more. So possibly it's just the whole thing's run its course with me. I don't know. We'll see. But as I make videos and we talk about it, I thought it was a subject I would kick out there and see what you guys think down below. It's painful. It is. The amount of accuracy, the amount of damage tanks can put down range, the quickness with which you can be deleted from the game is painful, as is the hold down meta. All right, there you go. Roast me down below. Say what you will. Let me know what you think. That's all I've got. Have a great day. We will see ya.